Tom Gilman. There we go, Tom
right.
Gilman and Mertiz. Now we got another one at 189 pound with Corey Brester and Justin Romeo from Medicine Valley. Both 43-0 Brester, 40-0 Romeo. So that should be a good matchup.
And they both have pinned their way to the finals. So the 6 pins at the state tournament between them. So we could see a lot of throwing going on. And we already have action going on in Class A very quickly.
Yeah, we got undefeated. Derek Gettings comes out, does a fireman's carry, and takes Coleman Westerby right to his back. And Westerby had a great match last night, pinning Chris Tyler, who is a state champion and a runner-up, in the last few seconds to get into the state final round.
And Gettings has gotten here with 2 pins and an 11-4 victory. So even though he's ranked 3rd and unbeaten, Westerby, who is a 2-time medalist coming into this one, was ranked ahead of him at number 1.
Well, Gettings got 3rd in state last year in Class D at Oakland Craig. So this is stepped up 2 classes for him, and he comes out and gets the first takedown. That Class B matchup, that's 2 all-state football players out there. Andy Janovic, a junior, Gabe Terry, a junior. This football coach's dreams out there. Janovic, an all-state linebacker, led the Class B in tackles this year. Comes in and does a straight tackle on Terry, and he fights it off really well.
Well, no score yet in Class C. You have Niall Bartling of Syracuse, only has 1 loss on the year, and was a runner-up a year ago. In fact, he lost to Willie Schwarzkopf in the finals last year.
His one loss this year has been to Corey Brester.
So he's been outstanding. In fact, he had a big victory earlier in the year going up a weight class and defeated Brock Sherman of Crete, who we'll see in the next round, and beat him 1-0.
And Niall's already committed to Ohio State University. He's going to stay in where we go to the Big Ten, so we'll have a competitor out there, but he's going to take his wrestling to the next level, the Division I level. Brester's got his first takedown on the Class D mat over Justin Romeo. And Derek Gettings has a commanding 5-0 lead as he got that first throw to his back in the Class A mat. No score in Class B, no score in Class C.
Well, as you mentioned, Brester, defending state champion, a 4-time medalist. Again, I always like to throw that out there because to medal all 4 years is quite an accomplishment.
Well, his family, Craig Brester, 3-time All-American for the Huskers, and now he's an administrative assistant for Nebraska. Good gene pool there when your brother comes home to work out with you like that. So they got I think Corey's another one that can wrestle at that level as well.
How about Derek Gettings going to work, leading at 5-0 in Class A over Coleman Westerby at Grand Island? Even though Gettings is unbeaten, it would be a bit of an upset. And right now, he's got a 5-0 lead with under a minute to go in that first period.
Westerby's another one of those summer wrestlers, wrestles all around, and he is a good baseball player, good all-around athlete. You're seeing a lot of these bigger guys that play football, wrestle, baseball, good-sized athletes. And Westerby just gets a nice reversal there, makes the score 5-2 with 25 seconds left in the first. In the Class B mat, Janovic gets an early escape in 4 seconds as Gabe Terry just wants to go on his feet. Janovic tries another double leg. Gabe Terry, great hips. He's just an athletic-looking kid.
He had a tough one last night, Gabe Terry, winning at 7-5 over second-ranked Ryan Randall of Blair. Janovic has pinned his way to the finals. He was state runner-up a year ago and unbeaten here as a junior.
Well, Gabe Terry's only got 3 losses on the year, and all 3 losses were to Randall from Blair, who was a runner-up last year and an all-state football player, by the way. And so he avenged that loss. He comes out here, he just got warned for stalling by Dave Walton as Janovic's tried all the shots and Terry's been more defensive. Got blood time on C. Janovic gets in deep. Terry can't run out of bounds. That's a penalty, so Janovic gets the 2-point takedown to go back to center. And Janovic's another one with a strong family history of wrestling. His brother Mike was a state champ. Joe was a 2-time state champion. Jim was a medalist.
And in Class D, it's a 2-1 lead right now. Corey Brester of Howells leading by 1 over Justin Romeo of Medicine Valley. Again, these are 2 unbeaten seniors. Brester is a defending champion. He was a runner-up 2 years ago, 4th place 3 years ago. So he's trying to be a 2-time state champ, and he's in against a tough one in Justin Romeo of Medicine Valley as they get toward the edge of the mat.
Still 0-0 on that Niall Bartling match. Derek Mowinkle, they have wrestled before, and I believe Niall beat him earlier. Niall's got a nice wrestling resume, as Steve related.
And again, it's scoring is Andy Janovic from Gretna. He's now at 5-1. We've got about 1:21 going to the second period in Class A. And still leading at this point, Derek Gettings of South Sioux City, leading Coleman Westerby at Grand Island. We're down to about 30 seconds to go in the third period, in the second period in Class D. And Brester of Howells leading by 1 over Romeo of Medicine Valley. So that's, I think, going to go down to the wire.
Brester, another all-state football player. Of course, we talked about how Howells is 3-time defending state champions in football. Just a 2-1 score there for the last 10 seconds in the Class D match. Class B is in the last 10 seconds.
And we're now tied up in Class A at 5-5 with 46 seconds to go in the second period. So coming back very strongly is Coleman Westerby.
Well, we saw Westerby come back against Chris Tyler last night. He's got a big motor on him. His gas tank just doesn't get empty. It's going to be the last 30 seconds of the second period, 5-5 score. Starting the third period in Class D. Brester's up now 3-1. Starting third period in B, it's the 5-1 scores, Brett.
In C, we're still scoreless with 1:18 to go, second period between Niall Bartlinger, Syracuse, Derek Mowinkle of Loganview. So still no score happening yet in that Class C match.
Bartling's got a big upper body, really strong. Doesn't score a whole lot of points. He stays in great position. Doesn't give up a whole lot of points. That's the big key for him. There he does a little hip twist and trying to get some back points. He's got 56 in the second period.
In the third period in Class D, at 1:47 to go, it's still a 3-1 lead for Corey Brester of Howells, who's on the bottom trying to score some more points, and Justin Romeo of Medicine Valley. And now does get the escape, so Romeo's going to have to go to work here.
Andy Janovic gets another takedown.
Nice takedown by Brester, and now starting to take control in the third period of the 1:29 to go, and he leads it 6-1.
Janovic gets another takedown. He's up 7-2 with 1:16 in the third, trying to get his first state title, just a junior. Runner-up last year was pinned by Will Brown of Chadron. Will, I believe, is wrestling in the Army right now. So Janovic puts a crossbody right in, tries to break down Gabe Terry. What an athlete both those two are, just so athletic.
Well, Derek Gettings leads at 6-5 in the third period in Class A. Gettings has been ahead most of the match. Then Westerby came back and tied it. Now Gettings leads it by 1. Is deep on a double leg attempt. He's been pretty tough.
Yeah, he's a big strong kid. South Sioux City undefeated. He's got 1:23 left there. He's up. Stalemate back to center. Janovic, Gretna's up 7-2. Got 35 seconds left there. And 50 seconds left in Class D.
Boy, Brester is so tough in the top position.
He is so strong, yes. Yeah. He rides, keeps his hips up great. Looks a lot like his brother from this angle. He's built like him, real muscular.
Gettings got another point.
He gets out. Nice takedown. Right on the edge. They're calling a 2-point takedown. Nice takedown by Westbury. You go back to center, and he wants both back up again. We're going to have to go fix the scoreboard here.
Yeah, we'll get that score for you. I don't think that it's still right, but 1:08 to go in the third period. They'll get it straightened out, and we'll let you know for sure.
And we're going to have a state champion on the Class B mat. That's going to get done first, and it's going to be a 7-2 score. Andy Janovic, state champion for the first time. Both boys will be back next year, both juniors. And we got a state champion in Class D. Corey Brester wins 7-1. Justin Romeo loses his bid to become Medicine Valley's second state champion.
And Brester is a 2-time state champion, winning it last year, now winning it again in 2011, and he finishes his senior year unbeaten. And now they've got the scoreboard straightened out in Class A. It's an 8-7 lead for Derek Gettings. Under a minute to go now, third period. So this is going right down to the end between those two.